Welcome, welcome, one and all, to Joker's room of fun, mayhem, and prizes. And for anyone who gets that, don't you think it's kind of lazy that both the heroes and the villains go to the same place? But then again, the whole game seems half-assed to me. But it's off topic, though there is no such thing as off topic, because this is my video and I can do and say whatever the hell I want. So, fuck you. Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing this video in sign language this week. But this is the only sign I know. But it does get the point across of the whole video. But anyway. First thing as usual, I will address comments. Now I am about to rip into this guy called Latra2K7. I'm going to rip into him very badly. So if you do not want to hear this and go on to the actual topic of this week's video, which is Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, look down in the description and it'll tell you where to fast forward to. Okay? Look down in the description, that'll tell you what time to fast forward to where I actually start talking about the topic. If you don't do that, you're going to have to listen to me rip into somebody. And I'm not being, most of the time when I rip into people, it's meant to be comedic. This is not meant to be comedic. I don't like this guy. I think he's a fucking moron. Okay? So this is not meant to be comedic. And it's my show, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. So look down in the description and fast forward if you don't want to hear it. Now on to Latra2K7. You fucking moron. I posted a comment on this guy's profile calling him a fucking retard, which is an insult to retards everywhere. And I will explain. Back in my worst wrestler video, I mentioned Ric Flair from the point of 1991 onward as being very repetitive, rambling during his interviews, and going off topic. A lot of people got mad. I didn't care. Latra got so mad, I issued a challenge to him. That if he could show me a match from 1991 onward that wasn't very repetitive for Ric Flair like all his other matches, I would shave my head and make a video publicly apologizing to Ric Flair. Well, Latra decided to take me up on this offer. Though he didn't follow the rules was he had to post the video, he mentioned a video, which was the death of WCW, part 2 of 15 on YouTube. Ric Flair is a main part of this video. It's talking about Ric Flair's time in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Now, my worst wrestler video was of the modern era, which was 1984 onward. Ric Flair was in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in the fucking 70s. And he was in Georgia Championship Wrestling until Georgia Championship Wrestling was bought by Vince McMahon in 1982. Okay, the modern era began in 1984. I was talking about Ric Flair from 1991 onward. So Latra, let's do some math here. Let's see if I have a piece of paper. Maybe I can explain this in the form of math to you. I mean, clearly you're not deaf, because you heard me insult Ric Flair. And clearly you can read, because you read the challenge. So if you're not deaf and you can read, that just makes you fucking stupid. 1990s is greater than 1970s. See? 90s is greater than 1970s. Which therefore means, in the contrast of time, the 90s came after the 70s. After the 70s. Like 9 comes after 7. The 90s came after the 70s. and anything that comes after a certain point in time is later than it. Not earlier than the 70s, but it's later than the 70s. And about 20 years later, 20 freaking years later, okay? So there it is in written form. This is not BC. We do not count time as backwards, which meant the 70s would happen later than the 90s. We don't do this. This is called AD. I don't remember off the top of my head what AD stands for, but it means that the 70s are earlier than the 90s. Which, by the way, in BC they didn't count time backwards. They didn't. The Romans went off Roman time, the Roman calendar, which started in 1, which was the year Romulus founded Rome. The Greeks went after the Greek calendar, which I can't remember what it was, but they didn't count time backwards in either. So in short, you have no idea what time it is because you clearly can't figure out years, dates, time, anything like that. So why, when I'm talking about Ric Flair in the 90s and in the 2000s, up till now, up till 1991 till now, the last 20 years of Ric Flair, when he was very repetitive and stuff, do you post a video talking about Ric Flair in the 70s? Well, I've been racking my brain on this, and I figured it out. You are fucking stupid. I don't mean, you know, you're stupid like, I'm going to stick a key in a light socket stupid. I don't mean stupid like, I've accidentally lit my hair on fire stupid. I don't mean stupid like, I'm going to chew on a light bulb stupid. Or stupid like, I'm going to chew on an electrical wire stupid. I mean stupid like, I have no idea how you can fucking get up in the morning. You are so fucking stupid that the ability to walk, you probably can't grasp. You are so fucking stupid, you disproved evolution. That's how fucking stupid you are. Literally, you disproved evolution. Because if evolution was true, and we all survived from being better, then no way, shape, or form could you exist. Okay, you have single-handedly disproved evolution with your stupidity. I mean, if I called you a retard, it would be an insult to retarded people because they claim they're not that stupid. I mean, you're so fucking stupid, you would fail in the Special Olympics. You're so fucking stupid, I could have a turtle face you in a chess match and the turtle would win. I mean, to describe your level of intelligence would be like describing a squirrel without a head. I mean, seriously. I don't know how you can be this stupid. Did you loan your brain out to medical research? No, because then you couldn't be alive. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, normally I'm not for telling people to go kill themselves. Okay? Especially on the internet, because I'm afraid they might actually do it. But Launcher, I will make an exception to this rule for you. Because if you killed yourself, I'm sure no one would miss you. Not only that, but you live in England, and if you killed yourself, it would raise the IQ level of England 150 points. Because your IQ is clearly negative 150. If we sent you back in time to 110 million BC, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, who has a brain the size of a peanut, would outsmart you. And people are going, well, you're talking for 5 minutes about how stupid this guy is. Well, it's my video. And I told you flat out in the beginning to fast forward. I mean, I don't know how this guy exists. I honestly don't. Because I see these people at a grocery store who have to have people come with them to help them handle their money and do their shopping. But they are more intelligent than Lotcher. Because they can talk and do basic math. Lotcher needs someone to be by his side 24/7. So he can figure out how to do anything we do in a normal day. So Lotcher, you're a dumbass. And get the fuck off my channel. I'm tired of hearing from you, you fucking idiot. I don't want stupid people on my channel. Okay? Get the fuck off. Because, trust me, you're too damn stupid to understand what I'm saying right now. So get the fuck off my channel. Now I'd like to reply to a couple other comments, since I'm done with my rant against Lotcher. One person said, great job. Yeah, I don't care. Another person said I should talk about my topics are boring. Oh goody, my topics are boring. Then stop watching. I don't care if you watch. Okay, if my topics are boring, then don't watch. But he did have an interesting idea in his comment that I should do a compare and contrast of the Attitude Era of wrestling to the PG era, which is what we're in now, in the WWF. That is a good idea. I will do that. I have a couple other videos I want to make before that, but it's coming up sometime down the road. That is actually a good idea. Another comment said I should talk about the Radicals, who's Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Eddie Guerrero. The Radicals. There's a problem with talking about the Radicals. If you're talking about them individually, career-wise, it would make a very interesting topic. But if you're talking about the group, the Radicals, and their time together as the group and being called the Radicals, I doubt I could fill 5 minutes. I really doubt I could. So, if we have time today, I'll go into a brief thing of the group, the Radicals, when they were called the Radicals. Okay? Because I doubt it'll take 5 minutes. They really weren't around for that long and really didn't make an impact as a group. As singles wrestlers, they were phenomenal. And as for Lotcher, if you're still watching, get the fuck off my channel. Okay, so today we're talking about the Undertaker streak in honor of WrestleMania coming up, where he'll face Triple H in what I'm sure will be a horrible, horrible match of two old men who are attempting to get up. Triple H has never impressed me. I've never liked the guy. I like him more now than I did back in 2000, because now he's actually working to put over the younger guys. So right now he's good because he's a main eventer who works to put over the younger talent. And that is actually a really good thing. That's what main eventers should do once they get too old. I've always liked The Undertaker. Undertaker's always been a good wrestler to me. And he's, again, one of these people who don't mind putting over the younger guys. Because The Undertaker was put over by people in his early career. The Undertaker streak. The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak is absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing that you can go 18-0 at WrestleMania. Considering the fact that up until probably WrestleMania 10 or 11, it wasn't planned. They did not say, should we end the streak, should we make the streak. It probably did not come about from planning. It probably came about originally by accident. They just kept booking him to win at WrestleMania when he was younger. And there are various reasons they did this, and I'm going to go into this in some of the earlier matches before their streak was really alive, back when it was still accidental. But it's amazing that he probably went to WrestleMania 10 accidentally, and then they realized that, or not WrestleMania 10, but his 10th WrestleMania, and then they realized that, and they worked for the streak. Okay? And it's absolutely amazing that happened, especially since his streak is pretty much a who's who of WWE. The Undertaker's streak is pretty much a who's who of the WWF / WWE, whatever you want to call it. He's faced a lot of top talent at WrestleMania, and he's beaten them all. Now, of course, we all know he first faced Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka was an upper mid-carder / jobber to the stars. His job was really to put people over, and it really wasn't a feud with The Undertaker yet. If he did, it was very short-lived. It wasn't a major feud. As for the match, I've honestly watched WrestleMania 8. God only knows how many times. I've got it on tape somewhere. I don't remember this match. I literally do not remember this match. And I've read online that it's very short. And I don't remember it. That's how big a match it was. It was forgettable. But it helped establish The Undertaker as a main eventer. And that's really the best thing. Now, WrestleMania 2, or his second WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 9, he faced, or maybe it was WrestleMania 8. I don't know. One of the WrestleManias. He faced Jake the Snake Roberts. Once again, one of the top dogs in the WWE. I think the reason this was actually his first WrestleMania as a face, okay? And one of the reasons I think they had him beat Jake the Snake Roberts is because Jake the Snake Roberts was leaving. So they had him go over him. It also helped establish The Undertaker as a main eventer still. His third WrestleMania, he faced Giant Gonzalez, which was, by the way, his only win by DQ. Every other match, he legitimately won. Only at WrestleMania, only when he faced Giant Gonzalez, did he win by disqualification. For those of you who don't remember Giant Gonzalez, look him up. His matches aren't worthwhile, but either is this match. He was like the Great Khali, only an actual wrestler. Now, his next one was, of course, against King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy at this point was at a low point in WWE and was pretty much a jobber to the stars. His only real feud in this that could have gone either way was against Giant Gonzalez, which was a DQ win. King Kong Bundy at that time was a jobber to the stars. Jimmy Snuka was pretty much a jobber to the stars during his entire time in WWE, and Jake the Snake Roberts was leaving. So that is how Undertaker went 4-0. He faced really two upper card jobbers, someone who was leaving, and had a DQ. Now his next one was against Diesel. This was actually WrestleMania 5, or this WrestleMania, his fifth one, was one of the ones that's helped solidify his streak. Because this was an actual feud. You didn't know who was going to win. I think this was in 1996. So Diesel was actually getting ready to leave the WWF. But I don't know if Diesel had already signed his contract to return to WCW yet. His next one was his first title match in WrestleMania, which was for WWF Championship and no disqualification match against Psycho Sid at WrestleMania 13. This also helped solidify him. This is when his WrestleMania streak first came to life. I mean, before Diesel and Psycho Sid, it really wasn't a living streak. It was something that just kind of happened by accident. And this was still by accident, but it solidified the streak of him beating big stars. Not just people who were jobbers or were leaving the company. His next match, WrestleMania 14, as we all know, was his first WrestleMania match against Kane. This one really could have went either way, but Undertaker needed a win in this feud, and that's how it happened. After that, I would say the streak was alive. The streak was alive and well, and became big after Diesel and Sid and Kane, because they were all big stars, all in the main event level. That's when I'd say his streak became alive. And his next match at WrestleMania 15 with the Big Boss Man in a Hell in a Cell almost killed it. It was once again, we know who's going to win. It was a crappy match. And at the end they hung Big Boss Man, which was just weird. That match almost killed the streak. Not because he lost, but shook it up so it wasn't as great as it was. But, let's see. They re-solidified it at WrestleMania 17 when he beat Triple H. And that was Triple H is in his prime, Undertaker's coming back. This is when he beat Triple H, so he'll be facing Triple H for the second WrestleMania this year. And that solidified it again. Big Boss Man shook it up, it got solidified again. Then he beat Ric Flair in a no disqualification match. Once again, that doesn't mean a lot. Ric Flair, during his time in WWE, was really just the jobber to the stars at this point. So, it helped shake it up again. Then he faced Big Show and A-Train, which was a horrible match. But that helped solidify it again. That helped solidify it again, and because he beat a handicap match 2-on-1. So that helped solidify it again. Let's see, who did he face next? I believe it was Kane. Yes, it was. This was his second WrestleMania match with Kane. WrestleMania 20. It wasn't an impressive match. It shook it up again. We kind of knew if he came back, he would beat Kane. And he came back, and we knew he was going to beat Kane. Because that would solidify his character again. And so it shook it up again. And then he faces Randy Orton, who was in his prime at the time. And it solidified it again. And then he faces Mark Henry, and it shakes it up again. Now his streak really didn't become solid and stay solid until WrestleMania 23, where he beat Batista. Because of the fact that Batista was a big star and it was a legitimate match, that's when it stayed solid, because afterwards he faced Edge, another big star, and then he faced Shawn Michaels twice. It was an anything could happen match, but because of the streak, and you kind of thought they didn't want to break it, you kind of knew Undertaker was going to win. Okay? So Undertaker's streak, which is amazing that it happened. And he's faced a lot of big stars. But he's faced also a lot of jobbers to the stars. We know who's going to win. There's no way they're going to have Jimmy Snuka or King Kong Bundy, Yokozuna, Mark Henry, Big Boss Man. These guys who were really jobbers to the stars, or upper mid-carders who couldn't beat a main eventer, but were there to kind of job to them and make them look good. You knew they weren't going to beat The Undertaker. And it's not until, and that kind of desolidified it, but then he'd kind of rotate between that and beating big stars. And it's an amazing thing, especially since the first probably 10 weren't planned. But as you could see in this, the first 5 were people who you knew he was going to beat. It is a who's who list, but it's a who's who that most of them at the time in their careers were at the jobber to the star rank. And the few we faced in their prime, he beat. But a lot of that came from, like as I said, the last 4 were because they wanted to keep the streak alive. Let's see. Big Show and A-Train was pretty much a jobber to the star one again. Ric Flair, jobber to the star again. Triple H, I can't explain why he beat Triple H at WrestleMania 17. I can't explain that one. Triple H, that was one of the ones where he was in his prime. Both of them were in their prime. And he's got those, and yet he's got a lot of jobber to the star ones. But he's only got 1 DQ victory. So that explains his streak. As I said, it is amazing, and I'm not trying to kiss your ass for this. But if you think about it, it's not so amazing. Because, let's see, number 1 was jobber to the stars. Number 2 was a guy leaving the company. Number 3 could have went either way. But Giant Gonzalez at the time had been in there for a few months. And I think they're really seeing it wasn't working. But it was the DQ. So I'm not sure if I should count that as amazing or as not. Because it was the DQ. Number 4 was a jobber to the stars. Number 5 was his first real WrestleMania victory. And that was against Diesel. And Diesel wasn't a jobber to the stars. He was legitimate. So, but like I said, number 5, number 6, number 7, all were against legitimate people. Diesel, Psycho Sid, and Kane. Either way could have went either way. Any match could have went either way. And 3 victories like that is pretty good. But then again, after that he faced Big Boss Man, he was a jobber to stars, but then again after that he faced Triple H. So, it's amazing, during the streak time where we've known it was a streak, and when they've known it was a streak, which I'd say was number 10, his 10th one, which was either Triple H or Ric Flair. I'm not sure, I'm not going to count them. That's when he solidified the streak. I'd even go back to as far as say as his 5th one till now is his 5th one till number 10 solidified the streak, and then from 10 to 18 was just keeping the streak alive. They realized there was something amazing and they wanted to keep it going. So is it amazing? Kind of, because of the fact that he beat Diesel and Psycho Sid and Kane all during the time when it wasn't really known that it was a streak or a big streak. But since it was known that it was a big streak, it's not really amazing because it wasn't one we knew could go either way. We knew they'd probably keep the streak alive. And the first 5 were jobber to the stars, a DQ, 3 jobber to the stars, a DQ, and a guy leaving the company. So it's not as amazing as you think it is. Okay, now let's see what time it is. 29 minutes, so yeah, I gotta cut this off. So bye, go the fuck away, go on, go the fuck away.